We had some drama on this channel yesterday. I did my $100,000 challenge, my one-day amazing race, and it went great. I mean, honest to God, it went as good as it could. Production was peak. I thought all the chatters were having a good time. The competitors had a good time, and we had a dramatic finale. All right. I even saw, some glaze on Jason's calm. There wasn't a single drop in production or planning this whole event. Ludwig, really the GOAT of whatever this is. That, what is a good point, because whatever this is true. Don't spoil. There will be spoilers. Okay, warning, we will be spoiling. Ludwig really is the GOAT of this event shit. Nice words from Rex Dard. Okay. Didn't realize how dangerous that name sounded. And even on the subreddit, all right, spoilers. Even on the subreddit, we had some kind words. This was so entertaining to watch from start to finish. I think Lud not having to be hosting directly made it better. Yeah, this was a risk. We took a swing at a brand new type of event that I have never run before. One where I am reacting alongside with you guys, kind of like a normal stream. It almost felt at some points like a normal stream yesterday. I still have to do my hosting at the start and at the end, but for the most part, like 3.5 hours was just kind of me shooting the shit with y'all, which made it feel kind of like a normal ass stream, which I think is what people want, Because I don't think people it's like you're Jeff Probst. I would almost say it's not like because other events I'm like Jeff Probst. But those other events, sometimes people don't like it, right? Like sometimes people want to tune into my stream because they want to type in chat and they want me to read their chat and interact with them. But when I do an event, sometimes all I'm doing is hosting, right? I'm dealing with the competitors, the production, the run of show, all that stuff. So, I was actually able to stream normally. I think it's a good point. I think events are cool, but people don't want to tune into the stream and watch Steve Harvey host Family Feud or me host Family Feud. They want to be able to talk to me, I think is what I'm realizing. Thank you for the praise. Now to the drama. This will have spoilers. The feather. So, it went really, really well with the exception of a single feather, honest to God. That was the one flaw of our show yesterday, was one measly feather. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, we have a scoring breakdown. Okay, this is from Auto. And the way the scoring went is there's a few different categories. Challenges, which give you 20 points, and you lose points if you use an advantage. Feathers, which is there were feathers hidden in people's cars. You had to remove the feathers during the feather removing section. And after any feathers remaining would be -1. Then there's, chess boxing, another challenge. Driver's ed, you would lose points if you had an infraction. Nobody did. Cargo Tetris, which is bringing back boxes. And then you would, lose points if you didn't bring back a certain amount of boxes. Fast food, whoever ate the most calories got extra 5 points. Tallest item, you got extra points for having the tallest, little for bringing the second tallest. And then, of course, how quickly you returned. Now, the final score, after we counted it all up, Green Team, which was Adapt, Jason, and Cutie, my bad. Green Team, which is Adapt, Jason, and Cutie, they got 62 points. OTV Team, 63 points. We were talking about a 1-point difference. This is real, by the way. It's a genuine 1-point difference. And there's a lot of things that could have changed this result. For example, Purple Team, if you guys remember, had the PVC piping. Right after stream ended, they figured out how to set up the PVC piping. If they had figured out how to set up the PVC piping in the 5 minutes they were allotted, they would have gotten second place in the tallest item competition. They would have gotten first place, right? Is that it? Yes. They would have gotten first place. Blue team would have gotten second place. Green team would have won. Or sorry. No. Fuck. I need to chug Red Bull. If they set up the PVC piping correctly, green team would have won. If green team got something taller than a smart water bottle, which they did have in their car, but none of the 3 people on that team replaced their cold brew with it, they would have won. They would have won outright if they just did that one small change. But of course, none of this happened. And the feather is actually what resulted in the difference. Okay? So let's talk about that. All right? Basically, there was a portion after doing the first challenge where we had our team, sneak into every car and fill it with feathers. And you had to clean it up. Ideally, there was a vacuum you could use to clean it. And after, every team said, hey, can we take out the feathers while driving? And they were told no, because the point is, it's a tickets challenge. You have to complete the challenge before continuing. You have to put all these feathers away, and you can't go, picking them while driving because it defeats the purpose. So anyway, that was the plan. Jason's just whining. Jason hasn't said shit. So first off, fucking calm your ass down. Mods time out for 17 minutes. So anyway, you were supposed to remove the feathers during the feather removing part. Now, Cutie, you guys don't know anything about her. She's a rule follower. I would argue to a fault. Okay? I'm not a rule follower myself. If I find a door unlocked in a public place, I'll walk into it. If I find a nice place on the street to cross it, I will cross it. If I have an illegal parking spot I can yoink for a few minutes, I will yoink it. I'm not a good person. I'm an American. Cutie, good person, loves following the damn rules. So green team was driving around and Jason picked up a water bottle, which a feather was attached to. This is after the feather removing section. Not long after, by the way. Like literally just as they were leaving. And Cutie had a conversation with one of the people on our production side, and she said, okay, what if we find a feather on the way? Can we get rid of it? And he said, no. Okay, this is the time to remove the feathers. If you find any feathers, you got to keep them there or whatever. So Cutie's the only one on our team that heard this. They drive out, and then Jason finds a feather, throws it out the window. Cutie comes clean and says this. This was not in the garage at the very end. This was not, after we had tabulated the points. This was literally out the gate. Okay? So green team won. Not in any universe, to be clear. So it would have, if Cutie did not come clean, be a tie. It would have been a tie. Now, some people are bringing up the fact, because we watched it together on stream, that blue team had a bunch of feathers in their frunk. And they did not check their frunk at the start. They checked their frunk after a second challenge or something. And upon opening the trunk, they were told by the admins they could clean the trunk up. The trunk is where the vacuum cleaner was held. And basically before they ever arrived back to the warehouse or the hangar, they thought, oh, fuck, we should check our frunk. And it was cleared. They were not told, hey, you are going to get minus 10 points, which I think is the maximum for not checking your frunk at the start. They were told you can clear it, which, this is accountability on our end, is different than what Cutie's team was told. Now, this did happen a couple of times. There were some miscommunications. For example, the driving instructor for the blue team did not give multiple choice answers. The other two teams' driving instructors did give multiple choice answers. This is a slightly different interpretation of the feather rules than another team got for the feather rules. Okay? That is true. That did happen. Okay? Now, I don't think it fucking matters. This is controversial. I don't think it fucking matters because I actually think the ending was electric. I think watching Jason look up in the sky at the end was fire. And although maybe it's sad that they didn't win, or I guess tie, because we didn't have a tiebreaker. Coming fully clean here, there was no tiebreaker. What would have happened is we would have gone through the VODs, triple checked all our numbers. If we found any, infraction, that's what we would have done. And if we couldn't find anything, it would have just been a tie or some shit. And in the result of the tie, every single team member of the top two teams would get $15,000. Right? That's what happened. They'd all get $15,000. Outside of the pride, because I saw this happening in real time, I decided to front Jason and Adapt $10K to make a bet on the Knicks game last night. Because that's what they were going to do with the money anyway. Why? Because they're rich as fuck and they like gambling. Whatever. I'm not judging. So I gave them $10K straight up. If you didn't watch the game last night, they won their bets. They won $10K. So basically, they left with $13K each. Not 15K, which is what they would have gotten if it was a tie. It's a 2K difference. I think that's fine. Wait, they won $27,000 from their bet? Then they have more money than they started with, because that's not including the 3K that they won from the competition. So, like, I know Jason heads are heated. It at best would have been a tie. At best would have been a tie. And they still have the same amount of money that they would have had if it was a tie, actually more. Actually more. And I think Adapt had a good time, and I think Jason had a good time. I know Cutie's quite sad about it. I think she wishes she never said shit about the feather. Me personally, this is selfish of me, I'm glad she said some shit, because it's a better ending when one team wins rather than a tie. And although Adapt and Jason's team was electric, it was a fire ending, I thought. No bias. I don't give a shit who wins. I would have been fine if they had won. I'm not a huge fan of a tie, just from like a content perspective. It's a note for next time to ensure that we do have a tiebreaker. All right, I'm out, y'all. Peace out. Goodbye. Have a good one. Peace.